Hello, everyone. Here's your weather hazard briefing for Thursday, April 6th. It's going to be a dry day with our next round of showers coming in for Friday into Saturday. Most of this activity for Friday and Saturday is really going to only affect the Sawtooth and the surrounding areas. Otherwise, just some very light rain and snow showers and a little bit of wind, too, as well. Now, we are watching that warm-up coming for the early part of next week. It looks like now maybe we see the system that was coming in late Sunday into Monday holding off until later on Monday. That's going to allow it to warm up. And it actually looks like Monday might be the warmest day now. But we're going to start to see some increasing snow melt and runoff. We're not talking about any imminent flooding or anything like that. Just something to keep an eye on as we get these warmer temperatures coming in. Like I said, the next round comes in as early as Monday. It may now hold off until even Monday evening. The current forecast, though, our blended forecast does bring some precipitation in earlier in the day on Monday. At least that's the current forecast for now. Satellite shows not much going on. We do have a little bit of low cloudiness hanging along the Wyoming and Montana borders this morning. Otherwise, not much going on. Some higher clouds moving in. This pattern is what's going to eventually impact our weather. This system here is going to bring a couple of quick hitting waves again Friday into Saturday before the ridge ahead of the next wave builds in for Sunday into Monday. Our weather risk outlook, we've started adding that increasing snowmelt and runoff just to let you know it's going to start warming up. Some of these water levels will probably slowly start creeping up, especially later in the weekend or early part of next week. We've put some minor impacts in there, just possibly with a little bit of increase in those flows. We may have to watch a little bit closer, especially early on with all the snow around the Pocatello and Chubbuck area. Like we said, nothing imminent in terms of flooding, just something that needs to be on your radar. For otherwise, we're looking at that rain and snow up in the central mountains developing tomorrow into Friday with, again, some increasing winds across the region. And we've basically included the slight increase in risk on Sunday everywhere with the warmer temperatures. The next system coming in, I think that mainly is going to hold from the Snake Plain westward on Monday. At least that's the current forecast. But the trend of slowing down a little bit continues, probably only going to keep it into the central mountains for Monday into Monday evening across our part of the state. So how we're looking this, we're going to skip all the way to tomorrow. Nothing going on today. We're not going to look at any rain. We're not going to have any wind, no snow across the area today. So by tomorrow morning, just a few light showers moving into the central mountains, especially over into the west central mountains into the Treasure Valley. You can see some gusty winds in a few spots, some gusty gap winds along the South Hills, also down towards Sweetser Summit, some of those gusts, 25 to 35 miles per hour. Also some good down valley winds coming across through the Magic into the Treasure Valley, especially right there around Jerome Butte. And a few other spots seeing some gusty winds over 20 miles per hour. That's for the morning hours. Heading in the afternoon, some light to moderate precipitation developing, again, the Sawtooth and surrounding areas down towards Fairfield. Those wind gusts, those down valley wind gusts will be decreasing, but you'll notice some higher elevation wind gusts developing out of the south over the central mountains, and again along the benches down into the South Hills, and some gap winds developing. Emptying into the Snake Plains, some of those gusts 15 to 25 higher into the higher elevations down south and also up in the central mountains. For tomorrow evening, the winds down south start letting up, but we still see some gusty winds, and they're going to stay a little bit more gusty to the north because that's closer to where the system actually is going to pass going tomorrow into Saturday. It's some of those ridge top wind gusts over 25 miles per hour. But you'll notice not much in the way of the precipitation. Again, light, very light precipitation spreading northeast. Most of it sticking around the Sawtooth, the Wood River Valley, the surrounding mountains as well, back farther to the west. And that trend continues into Friday night with decreasing winds, light precipitation. We may not see much at all across the Snake Plain, maybe just a few sprinkles, or if it's late enough, maybe a couple of flurries in a few spots. But that doesn't really last very long. We get that continuing to move eastward as we head into Saturday morning. Now, looking at those totals for Friday and Saturday, there's looking at the rain, or in some cases taking that snow and melting it down to a water amount and the actual snowfall amounts across the region for Saturday. And again, talking about focusing on the Sawtooths and the surrounding mountains. 1 to 3 inches for most of the central mountains, around the Sun Valley, Haley area up towards Stanley into the Sawtooths. Along the spine of the Sawtooths, we might see some snow amounts over 4 inches, maybe a couple of spots hitting over 6 inches. But that 6-inch amount potential, it's in the forecast, but we're only looking at something that's about a 10 to 15% chance of happening. Otherwise, not much going on. Those same areas, around a tenth to a quarter of an inch of moisture, again on the spine of the Sawtooths back into the west central mountains towards Boise. Some of those areas could see a quarter to half inch of rain or melt of snow numbers in that region. Now, we're going to skip ahead to temperatures, go back to where we are today. Warmer across the area. Still plenty of 20s and 30s, but you'll see the lower elevations into the 40s. As you head towards Burley, Oakley, into the Treasure Valley, we're talking mid to upper 40s for this afternoon. We're going to skip ahead to Saturday. You see those temperatures in the 40s and 50s, maybe hanging still around 40 degrees across the Arco Desert over into up towards Island Park as well, and over into the southeast Highlands. The only spots we're looking staying at or below freezing are really those high ridge tops starting Saturday, closer to 60 over towards the Twin Falls on into the Treasure Valley. Looking at Sunday, you can see temperatures warming up quite a bit, some 60s. Some folks are finally going to break that streak of temperature, no high temperature staying below 50 for sure. Some places are likely going to be breaking their streak of temperatures staying below 60 degrees for afternoon highs. That may first creep into the Magic Valley and certainly the Treasure Valleys as we head into next week. Low to mid 60s for Sunday afternoon. Elsewhere, 40s and 50s for highs. Going into Monday, it looks like we flipped the forecast a little bit now. With that ridge holding a little bit longer, Monday may end up being the warmest day for most of us. Look at that. Chalice near 60, 50s in the Wood River Valley. We're talking 60 to 65 in Pocatello, even up towards Idaho Falls. Near 70 into the Treasure Valley, also into the western side of the Magic Valley, Jerome, Twin Falls, Burley as well. And taking a look at, we try to show you the probabilities of some things happening just to kind of give you an idea. Well, here's the likely scenario. What else could happen? So this is for the probability for high temperatures on Sunday, topping out at 70 degrees. Down towards Malta, we're looking at that percentage around 20 to 30%. Also down towards Oakley, about 10 to 20%. It's higher as you get west of Twin Falls and Jerome and Gooding, those areas, higher potential of hitting a 70. Now, we're going to go to Monday. Look at those numbers jumping. Maybe 10 to 20% down on our side of the Cache Valley. In the Pocatello area, about a 20 to 30% chance. It's going to be interesting to see with this 1 to 2 feet of snow we had on the ground, the rate at which that melts, and if it melts quick enough, unfortunately, we're going to have some potential hydro issues, but the quicker it melts, maybe the greater potential of hitting closer to 70 by the time we get to Monday occurs. Just have to watch that. But certainly, the farther west you go, we're talking percentages around 40 to 50%, if not a little bit higher, down towards Malta. Certainly across the south end of the Magic Valley down towards Oakley. And, of course, once you get west of Twin into the Treasure Valley, some much higher percentages of topping 70 degrees for the day on Monday. Otherwise, by the time we get towards the middle of next week, cooler temperatures return. We're looking at 30s in the mountains, 40s and 50s down in the lower elevation. So, once again, it's going to be a dry day. Not expecting any precipitation today. The next round, Friday into Saturday, the Sawtooth surrounding mountains are going to be the main impact there. But we're going to have to watch ahead of that next system, that ridge building in, much warmer temperatures, some increase in snowmelt and runoff coming our way. And by the time we get it later into Monday, that's when the next round of rain and snow moves into our area. So have a great Thursday and stay safe, everyone.